Imagine if you learned to crawl and then when it come to walking, you went, nah, that's enough. Something that actually fundamentally cripples a lot of businesses. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that and help you step into the main character energy as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, updating your skill sets. So 5 things that I want to talk about today. 5 things. My hand looks big. 5 things I want to talk about. First thing I want to talk about is continuous learning. Second thing I want to talk about is trend awareness. Third thing I want to talk about is networking, strategic partnerships. Fourth thing I want to talk about is client feedback and how to integrate that into your business. And the fifth thing I want to talk about is technological adaptation. So that's 5 things. Continuous learning is actually a fundamental basis for success. Now, a saying my dad used to use all the time is when you stop learning, you're dead. And I don't think that he meant when you stop learning, you die instantly. But I think that he meant that if you recognize in life that you're always going to be learning, and the only way that that's ever going to stop is if you die. So regularly updating your skill set and your knowledge, especially with a fast moving world that we have, there's lots of ways to do that. Reading books, doing personal development courses, watching free content like this, spending time with peers, being around the right people, reading ebooks, following people online that you really admire and love the work that they're doing. So continuously updating your skill set and your professional development is something that is going to make you stand apart from everybody else. Because I often will meet a business partner who went, I learned that 5 years ago and it's been working, for instance. Or the number one thing that I see that is like a sign of a dying business is, well, that's the way we've always done it. I was talking to a really good friend the other day. He's taken over an amazing little cafe in the east coast of Australia. And putting ice cream in the smoothies. And he said, you can't put ice cream in smoothies anymore. They've got to be healthy. People want a healthy smoothie. And I go, well, we've always put ice cream in smoothies. And he goes, yeah, and you didn't make any profit last year. Continuous learning is going to let you be at the cutting edge and let you speak directly to your client, to your customer, to your avatar, to the businesses that you're working with in a way that's going to allow them to attribute you with the answer to their problems. You know, we have a saying, the Erickson training company, any business is struggling in any area because they just do not have the skills or resources to overcome the problem. It's really simple. Now, that's not discrediting energetics and all the other things that are amazing and the breakthroughs and up levels and downloads and uploads and quantum leaps and stuff that make you feel good. But all that stuff is stuff that you're moving towards. So having a breakthrough, having a thing that sounds like setting amazing goals, having a vision board, having a 10-year plan, all really cool, all really valuable, stuff that we teach, stuff that I think that everybody should be doing. You head towards your goals and you fail to your systems. The quicker that people would recognize that you head towards your goals and you fail to your systems, if your systems are outdated because you haven't been doing your continuous improvement, then what's going to happen is you're going to fail to an outdated system, and then that's going to affect your cash flow, and that's going to affect your mindset, and then your goals are going to feel unreachable. Once your goals feel unreachable, and the wheels start to come off, and then you're going to pay either a lot of money or put in a lot of sweat equity to overcome that issue. So continuous learning, if you don't have a budget financially and time-wise in your business right now to do continuous improvement, whether that's like I said, reading free content and having a mentor, then fucking get it done. It's as simple as that. Get it done. If you don't have the money right now, do it free. If you do have the money, put it aside for it because it will pay off. Second thing I want to talk about is industry trend awareness. And this is all about staying ahead of the curve. So at the moment, the big one is it's AI, artificial intelligence. Now, most of the artificial intelligence we're using is what we call narrow band artificial intelligence. So it's technically by definition not artificial intelligence, but it's close enough that they're on the edge that they're calling that because it's a bit of a buzzword. True artificial intelligence that people are afraid of is sentient and has the ability to be able to make its own decisions and create its own knowledge and path. That's what people are afraid of, and we're not even close to that yet. We haven't been able to create it technologically that we're aware of. Sometimes love a conspiracy theory, it could be out there. But above all that, marketing trends. So psychology in marketing and psychology in business hasn't changed for thousands of years. It's exactly the same process. People still think and buy the same way, but the medium in which they buy is constantly shifting and changing. It used to be a lot slower, but now we seem to jump from platform to platform to platform where people are spending their time consuming content, consuming information. We are in an information age, an education and entertainment age. You'll see that from all the personal development books that are being written, and I believe there is going to be a real desire for books that aren't written by AI in the future, and being able to distinguish the difference is going to be difficult. So there's going to be a lot of proof that's going to be needed to allow someone to show that they can dissect and alliterate and repeat and regurgitate information and abilities that's not written, because written is going to become untrustworthy because it's just going to be all replicated through AI. So AI is an industry trend and awareness. Social media platforms that we want to log into, and the consumer wants to digest content, you got to stay ahead of the curve. So if my beautiful wife and business partner says this all the time, if you could go back to when the first year YouTube was created and jump on and start 4 YouTube channels, one for cooking, one for personal development, one for professional development, and one for life hacks, and just spend 4 hours a day creating a video and getting better and better at it. And that means that today that you would have 200 or 300 million followers, you'd be making well over 10 million a month in sales and marketing. So if you could go back then and do that, would you do it? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Would you do it? And the answer for most people is probably yes, if you could get around the mindset side of things and do I know what to post, and are people going to like it? Like, there's people out there who make money off teaching you how to garden, so anything's possible. So YouTube's still possible, and it's harder now than it was, but it's still possible. LinkedIn is the fastest growing social media platform in the world, with more and more people using it because they're shifting away from the Facebook way of dissecting information. And interestingly enough, people on LinkedIn are more likely to have the money to pay you. So industry trends are going to continue to grow. We're not at the last social media platform. There will be a new one. For instance, look at the big shift in X. No one saw that coming from Twitter to X. So really being on the ball. There's lots of newsletters you can subscribe to. I would be not just checking mainstream media and just seeing what's coming. If you hear of a new platform, sign up, get a profile, and start just using the content that you put on other profiles and then just digesting it across, because you never know what's going to be the next boom. I think Snapchat's on its way back as well, which is wild. The third thing we're going to talk about is networking with peers. So this is actually how I built my entire business. So it's 70 to 85% cheaper to sell something to somebody that you have rapport with, well, it's been a referral or as a previous customer, 70%. So going out and having conversations with people is something that I see just as valuable as creating this video, as making a sale, as delivering content to a client. It's the same thing. So I'll have a list of people that I ring at a minimum every 2 weeks that I just call and have a 5 or 10 minute chat to, build a relationship with. And what that creates is a network of people that I'm front of mind for. It's really, really underrated. Networking events that you can go to and start connecting with people will make you so much money, but it'll also do the previous two things, because there's often teaching there and they're often are sharing the newest trends. So if you can see, this is all starting to loop into one style of thinking. It's staying ahead of the game. The fourth thing I want to talk about is client feedback. Now, we pride ourselves and our business not on our results, but on the results of our clients. Now, we get amazing results, and to run the business the way we do isn't necessarily going to be the perfect example of what's going to work for our clients. So we focus all of our education, all of our marketing and everything on the results our clients get and the way that we engage them. And even the way that we create our programs is based around our clients, not us. Which sort of, when you say it out loud, it makes perfect sense. But what you'll often see is people will base their marketing programs and the information that they digest around themselves. And that's great because everybody has zones of geniuses, and it's also extremely limited, and it's also can be extremely dangerous to people that you're working with, because there's only a certain type of person that you can work with, and they have to be very similar to you, which you can imagine would dramatically narrow the bandwidth of people that you're able to help. So everybody else is going to be signing up if you've got great marketing and you're charismatic, because it's easy to be charismatic when you're just talking about yourself. It's one thing that I've learned is what people love to do is talk about themselves. But more importantly, if you're running a business, and especially a coaching business, the ability to be able to serve people widely based on their needs on a wider range, really, really important. But more importantly, really important for success. And if you think about that, with that process of listening to feedback on what people want, you then have to go out and continuously learn, focus on the industry trends, continue to network, and then take the client feedback. And then that leads us into our fifth and final thing, which is a process that we often go through when we're discussing everything that we do in business, are these 5 steps. But this is technological adaptations, embracing new technologies and tools. So I don't mean technologies just as in new phones and cameras. I mean embracing the technological adaptation of your own skill set, being able to deliver things as a coach and mentor, service provider, whatever it is, in a way that's really going to be digestible for your person and your customer. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of people get into business more time and more money, and you quickly find out that's not as easy as you think it is. Like, a lot of people leave a 40-hour-a-week job to get more time and more money and end up in a 140-hour-a-week job until they learn how to do a few other things, which we're going to talk about in other episodes. But until they learn how to scale, systemize, and serve a specific client avatar in a way that's going to serve them, you realize really quickly that your customer is the most important thing in your business, because they are the actual ones who are paying the money. So having the technological adaptation to make it easily digestible, and right now we live in the most incredible time in history. People are saying how hard it is. You can literally market to any person on earth for free with organic marketing. If you step that up and systemize and automate, which is what comes once you start generating income, because it costs money, right? Like things like virtual and automatic responding, and Candice and I are doing we're going to have a conversation. You can check it out. It'll be in one of the platforms, but if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're not watching on YouTube, cruise over to YouTube at the Erickson Training Company and check it out. But we're going to be talking about a client that you respond to. I'm going to butcher this. Within the first 5 minutes, they're 800% more likely to buy. And I want you to think about that. How much time you spend trying to get a lead. Do you have technological adaptation, not just for them buying a product, but then also them buying into whatever it is that you're offering and teaching them, and then implementing it, whether you're a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, a solicitor, a doctor, a dentist, a life coach, a business coach, a healer, a mentor, psychotherapist, psychologist, whatever it is that you do. If you have the ability to be able to get automatic, immediate feedback to them where they can digest the information and implement it instantly, that's going to be taken up faster. So whether that's in the sales process, or whether that's them buying your idea that you're teaching them once they've purchased from you and actually using it, can you imagine the success stories that you're going to have with that speed of technological adaptation and skills-based focus in a business on the client. It's really important. So just going to recap. I want you to think about how these all roll together. Super important. And if you're not doing one of these, I'd love to hear about it. And I'd love to hear about how you're going to move forward with it. Because if I like the comment, I'll create a video around it. But continuous learning, trend awareness, really important. Networking and strategic partnerships. And in a strategic partnership, also link up a referral fee, get paid for your network. It's actually the easiest way to make money. The wealthy do it. Why aren't you? Client feedback and then integration of the client feedback into your systems. Technological adaptation, not just meaning tech, but also meaning the way that you deliver information so it's easily digestible and usable, and the way that you set your systems up so people can instantly access and implement. So staying ahead of the curve. This is for service-based businesses, coaching businesses. It will also work for product-based businesses, but there's a few more steps. I'd love to hear your comments about it. That's the end of the video, and I'll see you guys on the inside.